said I would come back at the appointed time. You all will heed my words. You too, when are you going to wake up? When are you going to start putting this stuff out when it needs to be put out? Letting the appropriate people need to see these videos. But you're playing around and not doing what is right, and what is just. Now, I put out a warning about skull rising in murky water. There was a woman who was almost swept up by a tornado. House got completely obliterated. But that's not the thing, that's not the thing, that's not all of it. I said there is no more love in this world. The world has gone black. I mentioned about Nibiru or Planet X, or if you would like to call it Wormwood. You never really wondered why our skies are orange. These are strong, strong warnings. When there becomes a time that I cannot sleep, and when I do fall asleep, there's something bad I'm going to see. Two older men walking in the parking lot, and some kids. No, a kid, one kid walks up behind them, the two older men, and just unalived them. You got four teenagers running behind two teenagers and robbed them at gunpoint. We talk about young children, 19, 18, just barely turning 20. This is what I had to deal with in Satan's kingdom. These are the ones that are doing the sacred ritual in Satan's kingdom, not by one person altercation, but multiple on one person, because they must put down a sacrifice of blood in Satan's kingdom. I'll tell you, when I was in Satan's kingdom, and this is how strong my my visions and my dreams are. The only difference is this was the very next day when I saw it on the news. In my dream, I saw someone being pushed from a building into look like to be a creek. But there were snakes inside of this creek. What woke me up is when the snake tried to go up my you know what. And the very next day on the news, someone drowns in the bayou right by Satan's kingdom. The very next day, these kids or whatever, whomever, they pushed this person out of an abandoned building with no windows in it and pushed them into a creek or bayou, and that person drowned. In my dream, the very next day on the news, someone drowns right by Satan's kingdom in the bayou with water moccasins. This is how strong my visions and dreams are. And I'm telling you, United States, you better heed my word. You are under judgment. The whole world is under judgment. I could have picked any other picture when I said the skull, not just that one, but um, that was a different dream. So when that happened in Satan's kingdom, that's when it happened. But this time, last year, in November, on the 23rd of 2024, I had that dream of the skull rising in murky water. I'm going to show you a picture, and I could have picked any picture. I could have picked any picture, but I picked this one picture. Now, here recently, a flood came through and killed 24 people, and they were telling how many more people was going to die. But the thing is, the demonic realm has a way of messing with technology, and I know this firsthand from being in Satan's kingdom. When my lawyer tried to come and see me a couple times, and there was disturbance in the place. I didn't know it, but I later on found out that this is what was going on. I'm telling you right now, United States, you better heed my word. You better make right with what demons that you have, because there's nothing that surprises me. My best friend, roommate, called me to come and see. I didn't see how severe it was until I looked at the news. This thing washed out bridges, knocked over bridges, washed out houses. I mean, flipped over cars. Hearing about a man beating on a window to break the window, to bust the window, but he hit a bad artery in his arm or whatever he did, and it was a fatal wound. To escape what was happening, about him being drowned in the water. Bad timing. Like I said, you will heed my warning. Everyone will heed my warning. Did you hear that? It's confirmation. But the devil always have a time to make things happen. Like this man outside my window running the water faucet as I'm delivering this message. And I said I would return at the appointed time. Now is the appointed time. Last night was the appointed time, but I wanted to wait till today to do this. There are several more people missing. And this news has traveled all over the world, seem to be. I'm not for sure about these people in this massive flood. How houses and everything was swept, and how they had to rescue so many people. But I told you that I saw a skull rising in murky water. And it's kind of ironic because when I did this last year in 2024, in November of the 13th, November of the 23rd. Yeah, funny I said that. It's funny I said that because that was a time that I was told that the books are now open. But here, I'm going to show you a picture. And I could have picked any picture. But there are people I'll show you. But what is happening right now in the US, what's happening right now here in Texas, and other people coming from other places, I could have picked any picture for this, any picture. But I picked this picture. And I'm going to tell you, you will heed my warning. YouTube, you will start showing these videos because these are warnings. These are warning signs. But nobody wants to hear what I'm saying. Nobody want to hear me. But you will. You will. Like I said, every knee shall bend. Every head shall bow. And if you don't take my word and you don't take my heed, my warning, Don't say you wasn't told, because I could have picked any picture, any picture. I could have picked any picture. There are people searching in that water right now, in that flood. There's no more flood, but probably still some flood somewhere. But there are people searching for people that had died, that had been swept by water. And we're talking about grown men, small children. I could have picked any picture, but this picture I had to pick. For some reason, I picked that picture, and I don't know why. But I could have found any picture where water was rising, or well, murky water, so to speak. But I picked that in particular picture. And I just recognized it today. And I'm like, oh wow, someone in a boat and skulls, and a skull rises up to the surface of murky water. And I've been harping on this over and over again, but no one here heeds my warning. If you all do not learn how to come together and create a massive amount of love throughout this entire planet, your time is going to end very soon. No one's promised today or tomorrow. No one. You don't know when your time is going to come. You don't know when you're going to be on your knees. You don't know when your head will bow, but it will. I've been harking and harking on this about how there's no love. The world has went black. But it will come a time that the whole world will unify. And it will come a time that the world will show gratitude. It will come a time that everyone will be on bending knee, begging for forgiveness and mercy. Heed my warning. You have been warned. You are under judgment. You are under judgment. I would say pass this message on, but I know some of you are stubborn. You don't want to listen. You think that it's just a fluke, or I'm just someone that's just yipping and yapping and doesn't have anything better else to do. But I listen. I listen to the Holy Spirit. And I said I would be back at the appointed time. And now I'm back at that appointed time. I will be back at another appointed time. And I said, heed my warning. I mentioned to you guys about foreign soldiers touching down in a foreign land. I mentioned to you about Elon Musk and Trump, and how it would be how it would be a reoccurrence. And they are two people that are reincarnated as John Trump and as um, Tesla. I'm not just speaking out the other end. When I give you these warnings and I tell you heed them, I mean heed them. Make peace whatever demons that you have. Make peace with all your neighbors and the people that are around you. Because it's not over. It's not over by a long shot. I see so much death. The world has gone black. The world has gone cold. These people are not telling you exactly what's going on. Even here recently, I heard about a asteroid headed this way, and it won't be here until late August. But this asteroid is passing by the Earth very close, and they've known about this since June, but they just now informing people that there's an asteroid headed this way. But it's supposed to be a pass through. I'm going to tell you, Wormwood is right outside the door. The waters are turning bloody. The stomachs are turning bitter. There is more to come. A lot more. This is just scratching the surface. I told you about my dream, about the massive tsunami about 90 feet high. The first dreams of tsunami I've been watching, that I've seen in my dreams. They were small. They were about 40-foot waves, 40-foot high waves, I mean. Now we're looking at a 90-foot to 100-foot wave coming. And the thing is that it was daytime, and by night it was still coming. That pale horse is still going to be coming. You cannot stop it. No one can stop it. And I don't think the Holy Spirit wants to stop it. So I'm telling you to heed my word. I will be back at the appointed time. Love each other like you love yourself. Learn to forgive and let live and let go. These are crucial, what I'm telling you, because this world has gone cold. This world has gone black. The children are running rampant. And I cannot tell you how many children I've seen in Satan's kingdom and how they have this ritual that they do, this so-called bird call that they do, that everyone whatever the hell that is. But when they do that, that means that you're about to get jumped. This is some call that they did from New Orleans. Like I said, heed my warning. When my friend called me to come and see this or hear about it, I only heard it. I didn't really see it. They were talking about massive people being flooded, massive people being wiped out by flood. I didn't see the devastation until yesterday or last night. Because I know it's nothing new under the sun. And I know what's coming and what's about to happen. I don't need to see the news. I don't have. I'm trying to choose my words. I do feel for the people that these things are happening to. And what I'm telling you is to make peace with yourself, make peace with whatever demons that you got running around with you, and make peace and start loving each other. You just don't know it, but we are already in the 3.5 days of darkness. 3.5 days call it 365 days, or you can call it time and a half. We're already in 3.5 days of darkness. Nibiru is here. Nibiru is behind the sun. I just recently found out that Nibiru has 3 suns. All these people that are seeing extra suns and moons, extra planets, that's because Nibiru is here. You can't see it. You can't see it. It's here. It's just the technology is not good enough to see it. I know it for a fact because I've seen it in my vision during meditation. I'm not on the planet when I see it. I'm literally on a ship looking out the window and seeing it. You all better wake up fast. Because the real fun has not started yet. I'll be back at the appointed time. Whether it be to give a message, to give you a message to let you know that something's coming, or whether the pale white horses came through that major tsunami. It's going to wipe out a multitude. Like I said, it's not over. Make peace. Whatever demons you got, hear me. Hear me loud and clear. United States is under judgment. The world is under judgment. The pale white horse is running rampant. Till the appointed time, the one out.